on our offensive line as we have. I mean, talking to Coach Mick, what he can do physically is unmatched by anybody on our team. So his talent level is high, and he just was a D lineman when he came. We moved him over. We're training him to be a center or a guard, and we'll see what happens. But there's a lot of good pieces there. We'll just see how it plays out.
You compare how you feel about the offensive line now versus exactly 2 years ago with what you had then.
I know these guys better because I've been around most of them for 3 years, so I know these guys better. I just didn't know how some of those guys would respond in pressure situations. You know what I mean? So that's probably the biggest difference, is just not sure. But once we got going and those guys got their confidence and they understood our system, they really started to play for us. It's different, you just can't compare. It's different,
Hey, Ed, how's Chad dealing with what must be the frustration of being a college football veteran that in some ways has to start over?
Oh, I don't think he looks at it that way. I think he was excited to come to Ohio State. I think he was we told him when we recruited him to come here for this 1 year that there was an open job there and that he'd have to come in and compete against a couple guys that have been here that are competitors, and he chose to want to do that. So I think he's had a great attitude about it. He's done everything we've asked. So I think he's just loves being a part of this team and hopes he can make a contribution, see where he goes.
Last year, like you said, you touched on this a minute ago, y'all knew what you were sort of mindset-wise going into the season from an offensive standpoint with Braxton and Carlos, and then throw it deep. Is it kind of an unknown right now exactly what y'all are going to be about?
Well, we have to, see. Yeah. That's what training camp's for, is to figure out who you are. Figure out who's improved. What are we better at? What aren't we as good at? How do we want to get our yards? If you can't get some of your yards this way, can you get them another way? And that's the beauty of our system on offense, is we can do a lot of different things. And so, that's what we want to figure out here over the next few weeks. And then once we get to, week before Navy, then we'll hone in on this is who we're going to be and kind of go with that.
Is there a hope that you're going to have maybe a little more diverse lineup of weapons if you can't just bludgeon people as much as you did?
Yeah. Earlier, I had said that you weren't over, but I think we have a lot of weapons on the perimeter. We have weapons at tight end, we have weapons at wide receiver. We're gaining confidence in those guys. They're getting better and better, and then our running backs are fast. So we have different ways to manufacture those yards, and see how we can develop a passing game that goes with the run game. And we can be more diverse, I would say.
Last question with Coach. Is there, have you guys been able to evaluate at all? Carlos seemed to get a lot of yards after the initial contact. Nope, never went down on the first hit, it seemed like.
Correct.
Have you guys evaluated like how much that helped your offense? Or I don't know.
Yeah,
yeah. How do you sort of make up for that?
He's probably good for 50, 60 yards a game after contact. That's significant. The question is, do the guys that carry the ball now have the ability to do that?
Yeah.
That's what we'll find out, because we didn't think that about him 2 years ago when we threw him in there. He was overweight, out of shape, and third team, and all of a sudden some injuries, and next thing you know, he's called to duty, and boom, he starts playing. And then last year, he came off a couple game suspension and started rolling and was in great shape. And so we'll see. I know those two guys that are playing running back right now run really hard and break a lot of tackles with speed. They may not just break them just running over guys, but they run through arm tackles and they're explosive. So,
what two guys are you talking about? You're talking about
Ezekiel and Curtis Samuel.
And what about Rod Smith? I mean, do you?
Time will tell. There's a place for some of those guys. Rod Smith and Briante. I mean, as a more of a power runner, but they have to prove consistency. That's the thing that they lack. They have talent. They haven't proven to be consistent yet.
What's Warren Balls this year?